How's it going, nerds? I'm Athlon. This is Astracraft, and this Astracraft video, we will be more focusing on the new competitive scene that is just now coming out. More so thanks to Jebediah for the new builds that he's come out with that are standardized, that people just download Alpha Hatchery and start in matches. So the focus of this video, and the focus of, I think, this week so far, and most of the Astracraft content that I've made in most recently, has been focused on Rumble. So here I will be showing you guys how to build my, I guess, best-ish Rumble builds. However, I'm still working, I'm still refining the builds. However, these builds I have seen, I guess, kind of steady. Like, they aren't the most overpowered. However, they're the most, like, ones that feel safe, that I feel that I've used. And for, like, some specific ones, like such as this one, it has a second way of motion right after the legs have been shot off under it, which happened a lot. So I made a build to counter that. And for this next one, I made a build to just get in the fight really early, as it takes some really simple parts that are really easy to find in Rumble mode, such as the Midnight Party, Laser, and Frost Wall. Now, the, I guess, strategy I'd say to make a good Rumble build is, I guess, to have, like, really easy to find parts, such as, like, the lasers and the Midnight Parties. Cloud Piercers are really good, however, those are not as frequent as the laser. Also, mortars are very frequent as well, so it's good to do that. But these are the builds that I have found that work the best with me personally, and I hope these are on Hatchery right now. So if you want to just hop into a round and try them out for yourself, I do encourage you to do so. But other than that, let's get into the video. Now, in this first clip, I am going against the one and only GS Dahara. The GS clan is a new competitive clan that has just joined Astracraft NA, and I'm hoping to see a lot. I'm pretty sure Tahara and one of the newer guys who I was playing with last stream are both the leaders of this new clan, and I want to go over some, like, strategy, I guess, just as this is like a little bit of Rumble for basics. So you have some good builds. Now let's give you some strategy. What I am doing right now is hoarding the parts, trying to get as many as I can to try to get my name on the leaderboard to #1 as fast as I can. Now, this is not the best idea, because putting myself on the leaderboard in, like, that few seconds, it reveals me to everyone on the map. It reveals the #1 spot. Now, yes, like, you want to be #1, that is the goal of Rumble. However, having so many parts so early when you don't even have a specific build that you've made, that you want to make, or that you say that you think or feel confident in the way that you can play that build, is not even made yet. So you are getting absolutely destroyed by people who are now targeting you in a build that you probably don't even know, or is just really, really bad, such as what Tahara is doing right now. So this is kind of like a what not to do. Yes, you do want to be top #1 when you finish the game. However, #1 just starting off is not the best idea. Now, I would show you the whole match of everything that went down, the weird, wacky strategies that I used to evade Tahara, as he was absolutely clapping me in the first, like, several minutes of this round. I was able to finally get my first build. This is I'm pretty sure the Pyro, or the old Pyro build, the Pyro 2. Now, this build was kind of the same. It had the same EMP, laser, and Cloud Piercer. However, it was not as good as I thought it was until I made this one. This one is definitely, like, it's more survival, like, built, as it's got its second set of, like, legs just in case the others get shot off of it. However, as you see in this one, my aim is not the best. I am going against a melee, which this melee, I'm pretty sure, it's okay. However, this melee is high, so it's more geared towards taking off people with taller builds, such as the ones that Jeb, the, I guess, kind of like founder of, like, the Rumble scene of competitive, has made. I just made to counter that, and it turns out I was absolutely countered by a smaller build using Saunter, which is why I always think Saunter is a very, very good idea, as it's fast, maneuverable. Yes, you're not able to jump, but it's really low on the load. And I have just created the Enforcer too. The Enforcer was once a really good build, I feel. And yeah, it was a solid build for it. Before, it wasn't really like a proto build at all. It was just solid. It was good. However, I decided to cut back on the load. I made it faster. Yes, it is not as durable. It is not as shielded. It does not have dual melee as it did before. However, it still has the same power to just absolutely obliterate. Frostbird and Mortar being such a potent combo already, with the Claymore in the front just to take out the small stuff right after I've ran out of Midnight Party ammo. Just always a good idea to have a melee as a backend. However, this melee being really short is more geared toward taking out legs, taking out small builds. However, when you have like a really fast small build, it's going to be really hard, especially if they have Hellblades. Which, another thing I want to say is that the melee scene of like, heck, I can just run up and stab people, is now more of a dying breed of build. Just as people are starting to get better with Cloud Piercer, they're starting to get better with ranged weapons. Midnight Party was buffed a while ago, making it a very, very well contender against most melee. And now I feel like Invis is not as good as it used to be, which is why melee is now a dying breed. And besides, there is no reason to rock a melee build when there is no place to hide in Rumble whatsoever, as it's pretty much a flat biome. You can't do much in, period. And besides, there's very little chance you're finding it in Invis. So that is the first round, showing off the first two builds. Now to show off my own special build that I've made on stream. Now, round 2. This round had a total of, I think, 4 people. Now, all 4 of these people are really, really good. I am playing with Tomarrow, another person named Waifu, who I don't know who they are, but they are really good for being just like some normal person who I haven't heard of. I wonder what his rank is, and it seems like there's like the next generation of pros that I have just met while recording this video. And again, I am doing the same thing that I made, the mistake that I made way earlier, which is collecting builds. I could show you this whole round, however, like I said, Rumble rounds are 10 minutes long, so I highly doubt that you guys would want to be in there for like the whole entirety of the thing, but I'll show you guys what has happened in very quick succession. That is your second very, very fast example on what not to do early game. That was me getting absolutely tracked down by 2 amazing players and getting absolutely destroyed. But I'm finally able to make the Strife build. This build, I feel like, is my favorite just as, I'd say just because probably I have Ice Wall on it. And Ice Wall is something I'm just discovering to be very, very useful. Now, the Laser Midnight Party does not do as much burst damage as the Laser Cloud Piercer. However, Laser Midnight Party, in my opinion, is way better, as you don't have to use that single shot to try to take out cores. You can just laser them from a mile away, full auto, and you don't really have to be worried about anything. And besides, the Midnight Party eats up pretty much anything in the beginning, and to begin with. And yeah, this build only having one melee and it being vertical melee does take out a lot of things. However, that right there was not the shining moment of this build. This build is more of an assault build. You want to use this moving around. It is not the most defensive heavy, even though it's got 3 shields in the front, which apparently get taken out really fast. It is more of just a fighter, a really light fighter at that. It being fast, maneuverable, and it's not as huge as it looks. I'm not even lying. It does look really wide, as it is, I'm pretty sure, a total of 8 blocks. However, it's not long either. It's not long either. It's very short. It's a very small build. Now, I don't know why in particular, why it keeps getting taken out. Maybe it's because I don't have the shields up. That's probably why. However, this build in general, with its 3 shields in the front, in theory, should be one of the best builds, just as the shields are placed correctly. The melee is vertical, meaning that it can take out pretty much anything. There should be no reason why it gets taken out so quickly. However, I guess Cloud Piercer and better aim in general just beats it. However, as you see, Midnight Party is probably way better, as you probably don't do that stuff unless you have a god tier of aim with Cloud Piercer. And as I run away with the #1 spot, the fighting just continues to ensue. Some things that you need to keep in your mind while playing Rumble mode, especially competitively, is that there is really no place that is safe unless you put a wall up, unless there's hard cover behind you, such as a rock, which is why Frost Wall, even though it isn't a scan such as the little revelation thing that no one uses, or an EMP that uses, like, you people use it to pop defensively to stop people from shooting at them, offensively, or as like a slow such as like Frostburn. The Ice Wall is just used to cover the place where you think you're going to get shot at, especially the back. I feel you can use it to block off people chasing you. You can use it to stop people from shooting you. And in general, you could just, like, even if you're like low, just wall yourself off. Now, approaching the final few minutes, I'm pretty sure, of this match, our builds are pretty much all made. The type of builds that Waifu and Jeb are both using are pretty much contradictory to each other, even though they are both really low. I am able to, even though I died, I've collected enough to stay alive and even get this loot drop. This is why Frostwall is good, because if he probably would have been able to get through there, he probably would have killed me, which is why, in my opinion, this build, it being fast, maneuverable, dangerous, is one of the best. And yeah, that's about it for the video. See ya, nerds.